How we going, champions? We're back with episode 2, and today we are starting our brand reviews, and we're going to be looking at John Boston.
Interesting guy, John Boston. According to the bottle, the first brewer of beer in Australia.
Which is a contentious issue,
Very.
particularly in regards to James Squire's also claiming that James Squire was the first brewer in Australia. So what's the distinction there, Toddy?
Well, we've all seen those ads, but big distinction is John Boston was first to make beer, except he made beer with corn in 1796.
I'd be intrigued, but I can't imagine that's great.
No, that sounds awful to me. So, there's two brands that are advertising it. And I guess technically John's corn beer was first, but they've come a long way since then. And now no longer on the corn beers. They've got this wonderful selection, instead made with hops like a normal beer.
Mm-hmm. So James Squires was actually the first person to brew beer with using hops. So that's kind of the distinction there, like the first fermented beer versus the first using hops. Mm-hmm. I'm really interested to rip in here. I've personally only ever tried the pale ale before.
Yeah.
But
good.
Dan's were doing a thing at the moment where they're holding a 6-pack like this. You get 2 pales, 2 summers, and one of the lager and one of the golden ale. And you also get a little John Boston glass, which I think we noted in episode 1 isn't the perfect glass, but we're going to have to be using it today.
Hopefully it suits better with these beers.
Yeah, and I guess this whole brand review scheme is that we're trying to get all the beers that a single brand makes and kind of rank them and just kind of try them out, try some different shit, I guess.
Right, well, let's rip in.
Rip in then. So we've come back and we're starting with the pale ale, the one we've actually tried before, and really good news. The bottles actually fit the glass perfectly. It does somewhat piss me off that they're arrogant enough of individuals over at John Boston to make their glass so it only perfectly fits their bottles.
Yeah.
The 330ml bottle, the 375ml cans we were drinking yesterday didn't fit in it, which is a bit annoying.
No, it's I think it's selfish. Because they're alright glasses if you have the right amount of beer for them, but who does that? Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna rip in here. I mean, it smells like a pale ale. These come in at $46.90 for a case of 24, which is obviously heavily on the cheaper end. As far as Australian pale ales and particularly craft style beers.
I think you can taste that.
You get what you pay for. I think that's one thing I can really note with this pale ale. I really don't mind it. I think it's a solid drink.
Yeah.
There's no real big negatives. There's not a lot of big positives.
Good colour. No real smell.
No, it doesn't smell like anything.
According to the bottle, it tastes crisp and clean.
I think that's completely correct.
The colour is a pale amber.
Yep.
The brightness is 3 leaves out of 5, and the malt is 2 wheats out of 5. So I don't know if I disagree with any of that.
No, I think they got it bang on when they said it's crisp.
Yeah.
It's a really refreshing drink.
Yeah.
This is a nice summer afternoon drink for me. Even winter, it's just a nice easy beer.
Yeah. So what would your rating be?
My rating, I'd go a 7.5 out of 13. Maybe 8 out of 7.5 out of 13.
Right.
Good. Above 50%, but it's not doing anything crazy for me. It's just a really solid drink.
Yeah, I'm definitely on probably a similar train. I was thinking, an 8 out of 15. It's nothing special.
No, it's really not. But again, I mean, if you're looking for a relatively inexpensive case of pale ales and you just want something nice, crisp, refreshing, clean, I think this is the way to go.
Absolutely. Alright, so we're back with the summer ale now. Any first impressions?
Significantly lighter colour, which is interesting. Has more of a smell. Still not heaps. Tiny bit obscure. Interestingly, this is the only one out of the entire John Boston range that isn't $46.90 for a case of 24 a dance. It's actually $50.99. So I'm expecting bigger things than the others, just based on price.
Well, I really don't like that. I think the fruits that they've put in there are off. That's bad.
I don't quite get bad on my first sip, but I definitely don't get good.
It's same bitterness, 1 wheat less malt compared to the pale ale. This one is fresh and fruity.
Fruity's a lie.
So it's fresh.
Yeah, well, I can kind of get the fresh, but I just don't get the fruit here. For me, it's just a bit bland.
I think that's gross. I really don't like that at all. I can barely see myself having one. That's
Never again, yeah.
it's bad.
I'd agree. I mean, maybe not quite to the same extent. I don't think I'm finding it as shocking, but it's definitely not good. Not a huge fan. I also think I hear summer ale and I think light and easy and almost tropical and cold. I'm almost thinking I was expecting towards Pacific vibes without being quite that far. And this is pretty shit. This is looking like the South African rugby team tonight.
Yeah, that's 10 out of 2 should just sit on that beer. It's gross. I think if I have to give it a number, I think I'm probably 2 out of 9.
Fuck, that's low. That's Great Northern Territory. That's
all right, maybe 3. Because there's room to drop. To be honest, I'll probably still get through this glass.
The only issue is that they've packed in the 6-pack we got. This is one of the beers they gave us 2 of.
Oh, well, maybe we might do our first giveaway on the channel for at least one summer ale.
Yeah. If anyone wants a summer ale, drop it in the comments. And I mean, if you live in the same building as us, that's probably preferable. So we'll probably pick out of those people.
Yeah, could give it to my random acts of kindness buddy. I know they're feeling a bit neglected, so maybe they're getting a summer ale.
Yeah.
So that's. I don't
yeah,
know if I want a second one.
That's very fair. I think for me, I don't think it's quite as bad as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm probably giving this a 5.5 out of 12. So after a bit of a disappointment, we're back with the crisp lager. I'm really hoping that a crisp Australian lager will be something we're a bit familiar with after the taste buds were disrupted a little bit there.
Yep. So this one, according to the bottle, is 2 bitterness and 2 malt. So that's same as the pale ale, but it's a bit of a weird scaling system that I don't think we've really cracked yet.
No.
The taste is crisp and clean, and the colour is pale straw.
I think it's just fucking rude of anyone to come up with an obscure scaling system.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would ever use an ambiguous scaling system.
Especially because you're using like different leaves, different.
It's quite strange. One thing I would like to note about this, and I've kind of noticed it with all 3 so far, and it might just be an indication of the quality of John Boston beer. The head retention's been really poor. I had like a really nice pour going. And it was
a solid finger. Or...
It was a solid finger of head, and it's just dissipated, which I think is generally an indication that it's not of the best quality. I think we're just gonna have to
rip in.
Smells like Tooheys, I guess. That's weird. Kind of like Quade Cooper coming back into the Australian rugby team. Not remotely what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's surprising. But that's not a beer that'll win a test match. That doesn't really do it for me.
Again, $46.90 for a case, which isn't expensive, but I think one thing to note there with the difference between pale ales and lager is that there are a lot of cheap lager options on the market.
Yeah.
I think for me, I look at a stubby for $40 a case from Dan's, and I'd probably prefer to drink that.
Yeah. An end of the night beer, something just to keep you ticking over. Your taste buds are a bit shot. I think I'm with you. I'm picking up a stubby. Numbers?
I'm just going to give it like a solid 10 out of 21. No, 11 out of 22. 11 out of 22. Just bang down the middle. Just really fucking average.
I'm very on a similar sort of wavelength on that. I'm thinking sort of maybe a 20 sort of 2 out of 40. That's maybe about average. It's
pretty average.
It's a 5.5 out of 12 kind of beer. It's
heavy. As I'm drinking more of it, it doesn't sit nicely either, which is another tasting note just to acknowledge. Like, I couldn't get through these quickly. I think the pale ales I could probably get through quite quickly.
Yeah.
These don't
Summer ale I couldn't get through at all. And
you may have had to pour a bit out. All right, so up to the final beer, the golden ale.
Yeah.
And at this stage, I'm not that enthused. Like, I'm a little bit concerned for what's to come, but the colour looks beautiful on first glance.
Colour does look. This is the one I think I was most intrigued by. Holds the most promise. We'll read the back. It's one bitterness. What is that symbol? One leaf bitterness. Maybe grape. Fine.
But it's a 1 out of 5 for bitterness, and it's a 2 out of 5 again for malt. So it's kind of odd for me that they've made a bunch of different beers and they've kind of just kept the same consistency with all those things.
Yeah.
But this is the least bitter one so far, which, I mean,
yeah.
I guess we'll see how we'll see how that goes.
And the taste is smooth and biscuity.
Again, the head retention was
negative. It's
awful, just shit
whatsoever.
So that leaves me a little concerned. But we're back down same price ranges as the lager and the pale ale, the $46.90 a case. So again, not expensive, but look, I'm intrigued. Final beer.
Cheers.
Not great.
A little bit like. For me, I didn't smell much. But it tastes smelly.
I get you, quite pungent.
Yeah. Honestly, it's probably second out of 4 for me.
That upsets me that this is coming second in a rating scale, because I really don't think this is very good. But I'm probably on the similar line of thinking. It's probably a bit better than the lager.
So, final numbers.
17 out of 36.
Interesting. Yeah, I
actually,
think
I think it's a 19 out of 36. I think it is better than the lager, because I know I gave the lager 11 out of 22.
Yeah.
So I think 19 out of 36 is fair shout. It's slightly better than the lager, but still not awesome.
Probably 15 out of 28. I think it's
an above 50% beer, but it's not much above 50%.
And it.
If I was forced to drink it again for some reason, this was the only thing I could drink on a given afternoon.
Yeah.
I'd digest it, but it just isn't something I'm ever going to be buying again. I really wouldn't recommend to the viewers that you buy it.
Which I was gonna get to that eventually. Sort of final thoughts. Are you gonna buy a case of any of them again?
The pale ale I might.
Pale ale you might.
Yeah, it's a pretty cheap pale ale, and it's quite good. Like,
I think I don't know if I'd buy any of them again. I think there's cheaper and there's better. And
absolutely. I mean, when you put it into perspective, I guess the pale ale for $46.90. I think the extra $6 for 150 lashes. I'm a big 150 lashes fan. I think the extra $6 is very worthwhile.
Yeah, for the first beer, maybe John, stick to corn. That worked at the start. That got you this far. Go back to your roots.
This might as well have been made out of fucking corn. It's not great. So I think we're pretty set there that it's the pale ale 1, the golden ale 2, the Crisp Lager 3, and the Summer Ale, a serious number 4.
Yeah. Well, it's been a disappointing afternoon.
Been a disappointing afternoon. I think overall John Boston really isn't particularly great. The pale ale stands out as the most drinkable, but yeah, just not awesome. All right, yeah, to finish up, we're gonna have a chugging contest. We meant to do 2 pale ales, but I'm a fucking goose and accidentally picked out a summer ale and a pale ale out of the fridge.
Yep.
And because that's my mistake, I'm gonna sacrifice and I'm gonna have to sit here and chug one of the shitty summer ales.
I don't think I could get through a whole summer ale, so that's big of you.
He was trying to convince me to tip down the sink, but you know, here's what it is. Do it for the fucking channel.
I think John Boston deserves to be in the sink, but
the stomach's well full. It's been a big afternoon of drinking. Let's see how we go.
Cheers.
We're gonna do a little countdown or some shit.
I trust her.
Oh, I reckon go on, go. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it's fucking putrid. It's actually filthy. Not fun. Down the fucking hatch, but not fun. Alrighty. John Boston, not awesome. Please sponsor us, Dance.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.